One thing that people quite often forget is, well, what happens if something happens to them? Who's got access to the keys? Who's going to actually inherit that crypto?
What Trent and I can do better than I'm confidently saying most people is how to keep them, because very few people understand cryptos and understand the very strange nuances, as you'll be seeing very shortly. We have come up with the first of its kind crypto position paper, which, pretty much nobody else that we know has done this anywhere. So the best time to get insurance is always before you have the crash. So when's the best time to get crypto structuring, everyone? Is it before you make money or after you make it? Just before or after? The answer is before. Literally, just a simple bit of structuring on a couple of $100,000 gain can save you 20, 30 grand or more. On a $400,000 or $500,000 gain. The real killer, while everyone focuses on their gains of excitement, is poor planning and poor structuring. Good luck using banks to get money in and out of crypto. I mean, I've done it, but it's hard. The amount of tax you'll pay is officially a fuckload. And just like that, you miss that opportunity forever, and all you'll have is a life lesson. And my question is, would you rather not donate any money you don't want to the ATO, or do you rather have a life lesson? We're living in a lovely global surveillance dictatorship now, as many of you know. AI pattern recognition now means that supposedly private wallets that couldn't be traced are more easily traced now using their software. And the exciting news is you just have to look at Kerry Packer and look at the richest 56 Australians, which I showed you in my webinar, where of the 56 richest Australians in 2016, 2 actually paid any taxes, and everything was legal and above board because they just knew the system and did things correctly. So you want to plan for what's difficult while it's still easy to do so. And it's a great rule. So the best time to set yourself up is when there's really not much attention to your affairs. I don't really want to be doing a JV with the government for 40%. So there's all kinds of things you can do, even by a 50% discount. If you've basically been up for a higher tax rate, you can cut it in half, and things like that, and save $5,000. Doesn't save much, but it's better than nothing. And you've got something in there for the future. 3 years later, he rings me and he goes, "Thank you, Blackie." And that's what he calls me. I trust give you a get out of jail free card. Like years ago, I had to use mine. I made a bad mistake in business 17 years ago in the GFC, almost sent me broke. And in fact, I remember the liquidator who was shutting down my company saying to me, "Your brilliant structures have saved your ass and saved your assets." If you want to succeed, you've got to take risks and basically take what I call seasoned, considered, well-reasoned, well-careful risk. So the government don't really care if you do things correctly and if you do things properly. We found a bit of a way to do it using stuff. And of course, you still have to check with your accountant, but we found a way for you to own cryptos in your super fund if you want to do that. I've had accountants involved and bookkeepers to check this, and we've even had a super fund auditor review it. So this is not stuff which I pull out of my butt. It's stuff that we've actually got checked and things like that. I think we're at a critical stage in Australia. I think we're in deep shit at the moment. And although I still believe in it and like being here, I think you'd be crazy not to have a plan B. I mean, how the fuck do you link it if you can't open an exchange in the name? Like, let's say that you have to hold it on a wallet like MetaMask. How do you do it? And I mean, apparently it can be possible now, and it's not easy, but it can be done. But I'll show you a little trick that I discovered because in my deep, dark, evil days, before I found salvation and left the government, started working here and left the legal profession, I remember I learned about this thing called bare trust or service agreements. So Grace goes to Trent and Trent goes, "Hey, it's great, Grace. I'll sell to you any day. I love you. I just don't like Warren." And then to his horror, Trent finds out 3 months later he sold a house to me. It was an old thing that would be done to purchase companies and in hostile takeovers, and I used to be a lawyer. So I remember thinking, what if we did that with cryptos? You can have a charitable foundation, you can have the trustee. And then what it says is it's a resolution saying that they're all owned in the name of the trust. The point I'm making is getting back to the important things here is that you can see now the importance of having your paperwork, and you want to do this like your insurance policies. You want it in place ahead of time. So just type a Y if you can see absolutely categorically that you need to get this done. I'm about to give you a blueprint. So before I going back to this one here, again, this isn't a set rule, but if you're a trader or an investor, you want to kind of get a different kind, because if you're a trader, you won't be able to get the capital gains tax discount. Whereas as an investor, you will. If you're a long-term investor, you really want to be set up correctly for the capital gains tax discount. If you're a trader, you want to be set up for deductions. So there's ways you can integrate your software in with your crypto. So you can integrate it to make all your record keeping seamless. You want the service agreements all bear trust, but you want the paperwork in place for your cryptos. It's really important. The whole idea is to make sure that you're correctly structured. And don't worry, this is why we offer the package, so you can get it done. So keep in mind, if you went to a lawyer direct and got all this done up, just the templates and the work alone and the agreements and getting advice, you'd be up for 2, 3, 4 grand plus, maybe 5 grand. In other words, there's videos that walk you through and tell you how to actually do your trusts, how to do your paperwork, but show you how to do everything. You can do it, but if you do it and you pretend that it was dated before, then you're backdating, and there was a federal court decision holding that was fraud. I've seen people with very small amounts make very large amounts of money. It's a bit like buying a car. You get what you pay for. It can be anything from a few grand to about 10, 20 grand to do everything properly. A foundation, of course, is tax-free. So provided you're genuinely doing a charitable, and I emphasize genuinely doing. The Charities Commission and the ATO have been auditing foundations more heavily now, and they're checking very carefully to make sure that you really are doing what you say you're doing. People do it illegally all the time and just hope they don't get caught, but it's legal, it's very hard to do it. You've got to be really willing to spend a fuckload of money to do it properly. If you're willing to turn up in my office and spend 50 to 100 grand and go through a massive process to go offshore and set up a foundation, you can do it. We're what we call sleep at night people. So we like to and I like to tell you the ugly truth, even if you don't like it. So I personally don't like doing stuff where I hope I don't get caught, not in this current world. But you're welcome to do that if that works for you. Number one, you just hope the ATO and pray. So hope and pray is a strategy that most Australians will use. Number two is see your accountant, see lawyers, pay 5K, probably get frustrated because they still don't know what they're doing. Number three, you can take some action and get the professional templates and some guidance with us, and even be linked with accountants who know cryptos today. So I might get Trent to explain this more. So I'm going to quickly show you the templates, and then of course I'll hand over to Trent to talk a bit. But yeah, look, basically all those really cool documents that you saw, you get all cool videos to walk through that and teach you how to structure, what you should do with your cryptos. You get Word templates all done for you, step-by-step crypto tax protection, expert-approved strategies to protect your crypto wealth, a personalized consultation of your crypto templates, a one-on-one onboarding consultation, and you get email support. And then Trent's got this wealth check where you actually get a 90-minute chat with him and a mud map where he will go through and create a full action plan with your structuring to guide you and come up with implementation support. I'm going to give you access to this cryptocurrency temp guide, which has literally been released to nobody yet. You got a 2-for-1 offer today. Either you can get Trent's wealth check alone if you just want to start with something for $4.97 and just get one of them, or you can get the double pack for $9.97. So I think you would agree. It's a special offer that we're doing for 72 hours where you will basically have that choice. So you can book in for the wealth check, which means you'll get a consult with Trent. You get all the crypto templates, everything for $9.97.
I think you're absolutely mad if you do not hold cryptos in a trust, like absolutely mad. When you start having a lot of value in crypto, you've got to be very mindful of that. Where do you hold it? Where do you store it? You know, if times get tough and people start looking for that, almost like looting to a degree, you want to make sure that it's secure and you want to make sure that it's safe. My belief in this space here is just don't be sneaky with crypto. Like, just do not do it. It's going to bite you in the butt at some stage. And initially when crypto came, it was a bit of an attitude of, oh, we got crypto, we can operate outside of the system. But you've got to think about how you're going to get it back into the system, because it's worth nothing if you can't do anything with it. All too often people sit on crypto and they think they're going to do great things with it once they get the money. But the key is to know what you're going to do once you get your profits. So think outside of yourself a little bit with crypto. I also think that once you've got your crypto sorted, then you can sleep easy at night, like absolutely sleep easy at night. You're obviously woke up. You woke up that cryptos is definitely going to be the new thing. So make sure you do your cleaning up. Clean it up now, because at some point you're going to have to clean it up. Again, my personal opinion, I wouldn't be touching crypto until at least 2030 in any way, shape, or form. It's an absolute long play. So you should get the reward. Like, absolutely, you should get that reward. So ensure that you're tidy, ensure that you're secure, and make sure that you can sleep easy at night.
Excellent. In 2018, I was telling people that we're going to hit some times, and I had visions of lockdowns, I had visions of vaccination experiments, and people thought I'd lost my mind. And I started to think maybe I had. Turned out I was spot on.